What's going on, NFT family, NFTV family? It's your host, 44K. The K stand for King K. Welcome back to the channel, man. I'm so appreciative of you all for checking in with me, tapping in with me, just building this family organically from the ground up, video by video, content by content, topic by topic. Do me a favor, please get down in the comments, just talk to me a little bit. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a dialogue. I want other points of views on these topics that I bring up. But first and foremost, do not forget to subscribe to the channel, share the video, like the video, and just I appreciate you guys' presence, you guys' positive energy coming to the channel and just helping me grow this channel, man. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I really do appreciate it. But without further ado, let's get to this video right here. This gentleman is Michael Irvin, most famously known for being a wide receiver back in the glory days of the Cowboys. That was a long time ago, but that's another video. That's another conversation. But back in the glory days of the Cowboys, back when they was winning championships, Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Deion Sanders, just to name a few. And Michael Irvin just found himself in some hot water over the Super Bowl weekend in February, where he was at a hotel, Marriott Renaissance Hotel, and he was accused of some type of sexual misconduct with an employee at that hotel. That night, he was escorted off the premises. When he got to work the next day, they took him off air. He wasn't able to work. He hasn't been on air since this situation arose. And it's just been a big conversation over all the social media platforms, news sites, different things like that on are we now starting to say people are guilty until proven innocent? So that's where a little bit where we're going to go with this conversation that we have today on this topic. But before we do that, let's check out this video.
But when you get called in a room and you're said, somebody tells you, hey, pack your bags, you relieved of duty, go home. And I said, why? What happened? When you sexually assaulted someone, so who when? Well, if I was in my room, well, don't worry about it. Go home. We'll talk. I said, well, if you're telling me I'm doing something and I do not know what I'm doing, you can't tell me to just go home. Played this game hard. I played the game physical. And you guys know, we all worry about it. We see what happens with our brothers, and we now know about CTE. I'm saying, how can you say I'm doing something and I don't know it, and you tell me to go home? I couldn't go home. Steve?
Notion has been the centerpiece of my workflow. It's quite literally an extension of my brain. I can take.
You know, they put me in a hotel, other than a Marriott, and they watched me. I'm in the staff for 3 days. 3 days to make sure that I wasn't doing anything crazy. Make sure that I was okay mentally. And you guys know I always fought to get this tape. While I was sitting there and they were looking at me, we kept asking for the tape. Let us see. Let us see what we're doing. Let us see if we're doing something.
So this is the part that bothers me with this situation. In America, we have a justice system. Now, since social media has came about, it has turned away from the justice system, and we have the court of public opinion that seems to hold more weight than our justice system. In the past, it used to be innocent until proven guilty. Now we have guilty until proven innocence, because there's no way that someone makes an accusation against someone. The video hasn't even been released to the public yet, and he is told to go home from his job. He isn't able to perform his duties at the Super Bowl, interview people, giving his commentary, giving his scouting report, what the wide receivers need to do. He doesn't get to do any of that. He's totally ostracized from his employment. His face is put out there. It's all over TMZ. It's all over these other news sites before the facts of the case have even been delivered to the public. So all you get is one point of view, one narrative, blasted out all across all social media sites, all across all major news networks. This man is being called a predator, all these different things without the facts. The facts were not released yet. So how are we doing this? Where are we at in society now where people are able to just ruin someone's lives off an accusation before it even reaches our justice system so he can have his day in court? So it's dangerous. It's dangerous, and everybody gets online and they have their point of view, and then they're shocked when they get into a situation like that and they're guilty until proven innocent. But we're gonna continue on with the video.
You saw how we fought legally. I'm just thankful. I'm just so thankful for those witnesses. I'm so thankful for this video. Because without it, I just don't know where this would have gone. This is a sexual assault.
When I talked about the people that were in the back talking, I believe a complaining witness, I believe it's this gentleman here who's some kind of a manager, and then you'll see the witness who's been back come out this side, okay? She's gonna walk way around here to this pole instead of back to where her job would be back that way. Okay, go ahead and roll. There he goes. She'll come this way pretty soon across the bottom. Also, when she walks up, you'll see she kind of looks around the pole to see if Michael is still coming. You see her just barely duck her head. Here she comes. Okay, right there. You see how she stuck her head to the right? And now pause it. Now, she's way ahead of Michael. If she was to continue at her same speed for her job, she should be way over the bar in a second. But she clearly slows down so that they're going to intersect at that kind of juncture where you have to walk in the bar. So go ahead. This is the shake I talked to you about in the beginning, the opening shake. Pause it.
Okay, so as the lawyer is describing, they intersect with each other. She comes the long way around. She could have took the short way into the bar area. She comes the long way around. Then she begins to talk to Michael Irvin. They shake hands, so that body language there. Shake hands, have a decent amount of distance between each other. She doesn't seem to be intimidated in any fashion. Hands are clasped, and they're having a conversation. So let's continue on with it.
This guy over here with his hands on his hips is the angry manager, okay? If you go back a few seconds, I want him to see what he does with a hand clap when he sees her with Michael. He comes behind the bar. You'll see him walk out. So focus on him this time instead of on her. Going back a little far.
It is not as granular as it should be.
Okay. But we got it coming now because here she comes. He sees her back there where he's vectored, and he comes up, the manager, and you'll see him when he sees her. Watch his expression when he does. See the claps? I don't know what that is. Then he comes up here, and you can see he's visibly frustrated at what's going on somehow with her. Now let's take your focus back to Michael and her, because you can see they have friendly interaction. The body language is good, and they're just talking. In fact, if you see, he keeps more space from him than he does when he's talking to any male at any point in the bar.
So they didn't want to release this video. So you kick him out of the establishment, take him out of his room. She says that it was sexual misconduct claims against Michael Irvin. You can see the distance that they have between each other. They're having a conversation, and that's where this word play has gotten a little bit dangerous. When you get to saying sexual misconduct, the virgin ear thinks automatically rape, groping, something like that. it doesn't think about a situation like this, or it doesn't think about if during this situation, if he said something inappropriate. Now, someone saying something inappropriate is different from sexual misconduct claims. That's an inappropriate statement. That's still wrong. That shouldn't happen. You shouldn't make sexual advances at a woman that doesn't want those advances. But having a conversation like this with this type of distance and then being labeled sexual misconduct makes you think Michael Irvin is some type of deviant or has some type of deviant behavior towards this woman. And then you get the overreaction by NFL Network, by ESPN, by being lifted and removed from all things associated with the Super Bowl during February, during the Super Bowl weekend in Arizona. But let's see what else happens.
Some of y'all probably wish you'd keep more space when he talk to you. Guy's pacing, hitting his hands. He's upset over there on the left with whatever's happening. The guy in the gray up top, that's the security guard that's wandering around. He'll circle around many times around Michael and her.
So my question is, okay, what does this manager have to say? What does the security guard have to say? Because if I'm just analyzing this situation, Mike came from outside of the bar. That manager is obviously annoyed by something. They've brought attention to the security guard. So the security guard is just, you know how they do. They'll pace around to make sure nothing happens, or they're in striking distance if something does pop off. She seems to be someone that might have came in to be the peacemaker between the male bartender and whoever, and then they're having a conversation. She may be trying to calm him down. But what do they have to say about that situation, the security guard and the bartender? Because that's why it's important to have the justice system. That's why it's important that these things go to court, and then all of the facts of the situation come out, because Michael Irvin could still be in the wrong. We don't know what happened inside of the bar that led to him walking out of the bar and then having this conversation with the female bartender. We don't know what happened. We don't know why the security guard was notified and was pacing around in the close vicinity to this conversation that was being had. We don't know why the male bartender stayed in that area and was clapping his hands and everything, making these different type of gestures and having these different postures. We don't know that. But where the danger comes in, we don't know this. This video just came out today, and we're able to analyze it and give our opinion on what happened based off reading body languages and based off the footage. But before this video was even released, we had major corporations, Marriott and NFL Network and ESPN, making decisions based on just word of mouth. And it's always two sides to every story. And these type of scenarios are happening a lot more often these days with powerful individuals in society. They know that it's a super contentious, super polarizing world we live in right now, to where if someone makes a claim against another person in power, that a lot of people are ready to grab their pitchforks against that individual and tear that person down to the benefit of the alleged victim, and to the benefit of people who are mouthpieces and figureheads of that particular group. So you might have the Me Too movement. You might have a lot of women coming up like, I told you so, I told you so. You might have different situations, like the video I did earlier today about the Jussie Smollett people, where you have race baiters, Al Sharpton, and BLM leaders and people like that make money off trauma in the black community, that come up like, see, yeah, look, I told you MAGA was racist, da da da, get on stage, say all these different things, because it's going to give them spotlight. It's going to help benefit them, help push a narrative that they want to push, because they're going to be able to monetize that. They're going to be looked at as the face of that and always get called to these networks to speak out against it. But all this is based off of, all this is coming from a position of no facts. That's my only complaint. If he turns out to be guilty and he did something inappropriate, and it can be proven in a court of law, and he's found guilty of that, he should be held accountable for those actions. But us on this, everybody on this virtue moral high horse lately, and they want to be the first online to condemn someone, first online to bring someone down before the facts come in. We're creating it's not even creating, a dangerous precedent has already been set, to where now if you ever find yourself in a similar situation and you have some type of status or something like that, you have to know that the wolves are going to come out and try to tear you down before the facts even get out. So either now as you rise and you become more prominent, you definitely have to have a 18 public relations department that you deal with, corporate company, or a personal PR person that's on top of everything, that addresses situations and can get your narrative out at the same time. A false narrative may come out, but it's going to fall on us within society to begin to lean more towards innocent until proven guilty, instead of guilty until proven innocent, because it's creating a dangerous environment. And a lot of people, where they mess up at is they never think that they can find themselves in a similar situation, so they're willing to go balls to the wall with condemning somebody online, jumping on the witch hunt with everyone else, tearing somebody down until that shoe finds itself on their foot, until they find themselves in that situation, and then they're crying for, hey, I just want justice, I'm innocent until proven guilty. But were you thinking about that before you became one of the people that condemned someone before you had all the facts? So I always try to look at it from both sides. I'm not taking any sides in this situation. It's just funny to me that before this video came out, the way it was titled "Sexual Misconduct" by Michael Irvin, my mind went somewhere totally different, because of the word association and just the lack of information. And I'm thinking like, whoa, what did he do? What did he do that would cause them to just remove him from everything associated with the Super Bowl? What did he do to have him kicked out of the hotel? And for me to see this video where it was a conversation for a long period of time, and they were in close vicinity to each other, but he gave her a proper amount of distance. Me as a manager, I would be able to look at that video and be able to say definitively that I should go up to his room in the wee hours of the morning, kick him out of the room, and then blast it out to TMZ and all these other places that a sexual misconduct situation happened at the hotel. I wouldn't feel comfortable about that, because I would have the foresight to understand that a lawsuit could come back and bite me in the butt. But they didn't take that route, and that's why Michael Irvin has hired an attorney and is suing the Marriott and this lady here for defamation of character. And we'll see where it lands in after the court proceedings and after it's heard in front of a judge. But this is just a warning to everyone. Take the time to take a deep breath. Don't feel the need to be the first person online condemning someone, tearing someone down. Sit, wait, and get all the facts of the situation, and then come to a logical conclusion on what may have happened, and then share your opinion, because you never want to be in a situation where you were the face of tearing someone down, and then when something happens to you, now no one has any sympathy for you. So that's all I have to say on that. But before I go, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, turn on that notification bell so you know anytime that I'm having any type of content dropping. Hey, get inside the chat box. Let's chat. Let's build a rapport. Let's have a dialogue. And give me some ideas on some things that you might want me to touch on. I appreciate y'all. Thank you for tapping in. I'm your host, 44K. The K stand for King K. This is NFTV, and I appreciate you all greatly. Peace and good night.